What's up YouTube? Poplar Mechanic here. Long time no see. Today we're in the backyard and we're going to be pruning this cottonwood poplar tree. Here's some of the tools I'm going to be using. Alright, so coming in first, well, this won't be for the poplar, but this will be for the elm over there. We have a bylaw, so we weren't able to cut these until October, and then we got sort of a snowstorm, so I left it. But anyways, we'll be pruning that back. I'll show you a different angle. So I got the HL A85s for that. This is seriously one of my favorite pole hedgers. They're so handy. Then for some of the lower stuff, I just got the Milwaukee hedge trimmers M18 battery. And then I just picked up these Fiskars, Power Gear 2, they say on them, L5532. They've got a titanium piece here so it doesn't rust. And these are bypass loppers. And this is primarily what I'll be using to prune this poplar tree. So this tree, I know it's a cottonwood, they get massive, it's quite close to the garage, I know all this stuff, but this kind of has sentimental value to us because just before my wife's dad passed away, I actually found this in the river. It was growing in the river. It was just a little sapling, and then I put it in the garage, and I didn't think it would make it, and it started growing back, so I planted it. I had a tree that died. It's growing quite quickly, and it's sort of got a weird, you can see all these interior branches that need to be cleaned up inside of here, just to promote healthy growth. And, you know, I've been trying to keep this, you know, this being the apex, a nice straight central leader is what you want, but you can see it's kind of growing funny. It almost looks like it's been topped, but honestly it hasn't. It's just, it's got a funny growth pattern to it. So mainly we're going to be focusing on cleaning out the interior. I probably will take a couple of these lower guys off here, just so we can walk under here and stuff like that. And this thing puts on like 5 feet a year, so I'm not too worried about it. But anyways, let's get started with the poplar. So when you're pruning a smaller tree like this, and you're a homeowner or something like that, and you don't know a lot about it, and you're wondering, you know, which branches may need to be removed. So I can just show you a quick little rundown. Like you can see here, we've got these 2 leads coming in. This bottom one is going to go nowhere. It's just rubbing up into these other ones. So I'll eliminate that. I'll probably keep this one for now. This interior one will go. And mind you, if you're doing this in the fall, it might look quite thin, but don't worry because it'll come back. And then we have another example. Now that's a larger branch there. But if you follow this stem up, you can see where's it going to go. It's just rubbing into this big stem that's already there and not doing the tree any good. So I'll go ahead and do a little base prune on this. You can watch me and then I'll give you a close-up afterward. Alright, this is the Power Gear 2 Fiskars. So we're going to go ahead and remove some of these limbs we talked about. This branch here I'd like to keep. We'll get rid of this one. Oh wow, those are nice. Alright guys, so I don't want to bore you to death with lopping this down, but I'll just show you this interior. You see I've removed all these sort of branches that would be impeding, you know, with the growth, the new growth and stuff like that. So I'd like to keep these. I just trimmed this back a little bit so we can walk by, and that's sort of a nice start to the tree. So I'll go ahead and remove some of these larger ones and we'll see how the loppers perform on that. Alright guys, so we're going to see how these loppers do on this larger stem. And the reason I'm getting rid of this one is it's just going nowhere, and this is totally going to open up this canopy. So what I'll do is I'll start out here on the branch instead of right at the collar. It's kind of hard to get these suckers in here. So that's a large piece for a lopper. And it cuts it pretty effortlessly. So we'll go ahead and get rid of that. And we'll get on a better angle here. Let's see if we can't. This one's in the way and it has to go. So we're going to get rid of it quick.
Because you think it's too big.
See how she does here. Cuts that effortlessly. All right, so we removed that large piece quite easily. I was actually quite impressed with those loppers. That's probably 1.25 inches for sure. Now we're going to go ahead and remove this one because you can see that it's just rubbing into this better, healthier branch, and that's going to cause problems. So I'm going to remove all this stuff now, and I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done. All right, so I've eliminated a lot of these lower interior branches here. I got the kids out here helping me haul branches. And you can see even up top, they've got a lot more room now than they did before because I removed some of these large rubbing branches on the interior. And the truth is, the tree from a distance doesn't look that much different. So we'll get back and take another shot. You can see it looks a little bit thinner. But that's what you want. You want it open in the center. Like I said, I wanted to keep those side branches, and I don't mind if this stuff's a bit low as long as a guy can walk under it. But overall, the tree is looking pretty good. So that's all it takes to trim these small trees. And I will say I do like those Fisker Power Gear 2s, but they are a little tricky. If you're in tighter areas, I notice you have to kind of wiggle around to get them opened. That's the only issue that I've seen with them. But other than that, the tree looks really good. So now we're going to switch to the HLA 85s, and we are going to slash all this elm. This is Siberian elm, so like I said, we can trim these seasonal. So we're going to go ahead and put you guys here, and then we're going to come by and just prune all this up, or trim it all up. All right, so we're going to go ahead with the Milwaukees here. All right, so the Milwaukee took care of that lower stuff. I'll touch it up with the pole hedgers, but that's what we're going to switch to now. We're going to switch to the pole hedgers. Then we can work on this higher stuff that I don't want coming out on my deck. And this is basically a yearly thing. We do like the tree and the neighbors though, because what this does is when you trim these elms, they really bush back heavy. And that's going to give us a really nice privacy wall, a big one here. So it's a really nice thing to have. Those are a really nice tool. You see how nice I made that look? Look at all the trimmings, all that stuff that grows over. Just looks immaculate. Now I got some higher stuff out here. This does extend, but I'm gonna hop on the ladder. And the reason I'm adamant about getting this is because I've been doing tree work for a long time. And if you leave this stuff, it gets really thick. Then you'll need a pole saw, you'll need something else. So I try to do a straight line every year. I'll see if I can get a different angle. So you can see all this is straight, right? And then directly below, we've got these hangers here. So we're gonna go ahead, get the ladder, extend it, and we'll get that as well. All right, guys, so that pretty much wraps it up using the ladder here. So let's follow this up again. There is one I missed. You can't even really see it on the camera, but not on this angle, but there is one sticking out over the house just a little bit. But anyways, I'll go ahead and tag that out. And I mean, it just looks a million times better. And then I know it looks bare here sort of now, but the way that that'll grow back is just unbelievable. It'll be right out here again. All right, guys, that's it for today's video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.